had some mess around of some shit, and I built this very handsome board, and I honestly believe, anyone else agree that this is probably going to happen? I'm quite confident. It's obviously it's only 7 picks, like only 7, but I'm pretty sure this is going to happen. I don't really know what other thing could occur here. Dino said nobody has gotten his picks right on lists. No, obviously he says that. He's obviously picking West Ham. Bro, I'm going to be 100% honest. If Dino wants to switch shit up, like genuinely switch shit up and pick someone that's not West Ham, I'm pretty sure I get West Ham. But I don't think that happens, like, under any circumstance. But let's just say Dino, for some reason, picks Reese, and then the Specs nabs the Ham. This changes so much shit, bro, and it'll probably be something like... I don't freaking know, bro, but... It's going to be a interesting thing to see. Yeah, I don't really know if Data's getting picked first, but Odeblock last time... I don't know, bro. Hold on, where's my shitty thing go? Elliot not on the list? I don't freaking know. Hold on, my chair's going backwards for some reason. But yeah, Grand Port rate. I think I get the Port Kazard like almost guaranteed in this situation. But yeah, I've messed around with it, and I think that's kind of like how it's gonna go. Obviously, I'm probably just wrong. I don't know. But I also believe that if Torvesta does run this thing with Lake, it could be this as well. I'm pretty sure Solo Mission would pick up Ellie up again, I believe. If he doesn't, then Odeblock probably would. And then that comes obviously to the Big O's pick right now. And then there's a few good ones in there. And I have a feeling that he would probably be nabbing the Pion spam right there. But I think this honestly could be a fairly decent prediction of what's actually going to happen here. I made some like random ass shit though. Okay, now you're trolling. Okay, Warden, tell me how I'm trolling, mate. Let's just see what he says. I'll wait. Unless you talk about the lake pick. The lake pick, I don't know if it's true, to be fair. I don't really know. That's just the random one that I put in. I think that... Based on... Why can't I control X this? Based on, like, if you want to, like, fully pick who you're going for, obviously, if Data comes back around, this could also maybe happen. I don't know. Doesn't Oda need enough beef? I don't freaking know, mate, but we'll see. Oda picking Mika first. Well, who else does he pick, though? I don't think Oda is picking Reese, but I'm going to tell you now, he definitely should. Like, definitely should, bro. Because, okay, so let me explain how this Deadman All-Stars is going to go, right? So the first thing that happens is you have the 6 captains chosen in a random order. And I believe a lot of you would agree that there are 3 picks that are the S tier. West Ham, Port Kazard, and Reese. Based on PvP ability or just ability in general and all that. Now, that means if you get a top 3 pick, you get one of those 3. And that's very, very powerful. But because of that, you then don't get a pick for a while. But what's actually occurring in this Deadman All-Stars, because Skill Specs is not going to take Reese, and neither is Odeblock, neither am I, and neither is Dino, S-tier Reese is going to be a 5th pick solo mission, almost guaranteed, and then it comes back round to solo mission again. So Solo's sat on a 5th pick, getting an S tier instantly, which should be a top 3, and then he's going to get another good player straight away. So if Reese actually does not get picked earlier, it's going to be a genuine, potentially curb stomp here. It's going to be pretty painful. The only downside, or some power that I have, which I don't really know if I want to do this, but I could, is if I legitimately decided to sabotage the fact that that's freaking OP as hell, I could choose Reese, Port Kazard would end up on Odeblock's team, and then I think solo mission would probably take, like, Mika or Elliot, maybe. I don't really fully know. But I don't freaking know what's happening. But that's one thing I was looking at when I was creating these boards, is I was trying to work out how the hell does solo mission have such a strong team? And it's because he has a top 3 pick on the 5th pick and then gets another pick on 7 or 8 or whatever the hell it is. So it's going to be pretty brutal to play against some of this stuff. But then the downside is, so this is Solo Mission's event, mate. And I genuinely think he's probably been planning like strats with Reese for like 5 months or some shit. So I have a feeling no matter what, we're all getting absolutely curb stomped here. Yeah, it's going to be a bit interesting to see what actually happens. Also, I thought to myself, if this board actually happens, hypothetically, I don't know. I don't really know who I choose next, but I think Elliot or Pip is probably my best bets of a teammate. But I might, in the moment, take the wildcard Lake and build the Ocean team. You know, we've got the boat, the lake, and the port, you know. I might build the Ocean team. I think if it does come to that, I might just do it for the content. I also think that team is good. So we'll see how that goes, but It's going to be pretty fun, but I messed around with it. I could see this occurring. One thing you have to think about, though, is when someone chooses their first picks are also going to have some say in who gets picked next. And that's why it's hard to say, because it's not just going to be the decision-making of these people. It's going to be the other people as well. And I don't fully know if Reese would choose Ian, even though they are in the same team. Reese knows how good Ian actually is. And then I don't know if Mika would want to choose Ditter and all that shit. You know, Mika might go for, you know, someone else instead. Like, I don't know, freaking, let's just toss Muss in there randomly. Mika played with a few of these last time, but it's going to be interesting. It is just going to be interesting. What I'm really hoping is, and I feel like the Specs is the only person that could do it, is somebody genuinely just messes these drafts up and just picks someone that sabotages the rest, you know. If the Specs just picks Reese up, I'm going to laugh so hard, mate. It's going to be so good. But we'll see. Mutt's a good pick for you. Didn't Lake say he's never played DEADMAN? Yeah, Lake's better than Mutt's in the game in every way, in all honesty. Obviously, no disrespect to Mutt's, but obviously he has not played a DEADMAN mode, and Mutt's played the last one, so it's a big difference, you know. This All-Stars, I have said many times, I genuinely believe... you guys, as a viewer, you guys are gonna love it, mate. The giggle emote's gonna fly, but some people are genuinely about to have the worst week of their life, man. Like, it's gonna be so shit for some people. I guarantee, and I will bet money on this, some people will go to the final with genuinely zero food. They're gonna die that much. Like, surviving is going to be borderline, not borderline impossible, but incredibly impossible. I spent a while yesterday working out how do you survive in this DEADMAN mode if you get hit by a PK, and I came up with quite a few methods, depending on all that shit. But yeah, so you're going to watch me train to agility to 99 or some shit, but it's going to be fun considering you can also be like, if you go somewhere, you can have escape routes and shit everywhere, which is like old school DEADMAN mode kind of thing, but they won't last forever, so it's good. We'll see. But yeah, that's what I think. So this DEADMAN is going to be, or this All-Stars is going to be quite difficult to play. But one of the hardest things I think that we all have, that I only realized yesterday by reading some comments on YouTube and shit, is the pick order of the captains. The person who has the best pick order here is Solo Mission. Because he basically, it's his own event, of course, but it's basically, he gets a pick and then another pick quickly afterwards, but also is borderline getting guaranteed to get an S-tier pick straight away into another, like, high A-tier pick. So, yeah, like, you might think top 3 is one of the best. Obviously, the Specs has second pick, so he should be picking one of the top 3, but he's obviously just not going to. And then because the Big O's got 4th, and I don't think he's going to be picking it as well, you know, that's just how it's going right now. So, it's pretty interesting. I feel like I can build a fair few good teams. I'm not really building any team beyond I'm not really building any team beyond my second pick because I physically have zero idea of what I'm gonna go. I'm not being baited into thinking I'm getting Reese. Look, Solo Mission, bro, if Reese is available and you don't pick him, you're a moron. And we all know Solo Mission is not a moron. But I'll be honest, mate, I mean, this is a wild prediction, though, Mr. Mission. This is what I think is going to happen. But I literally think, yeah, you have the best pick. If Reese slivers to the 5th, you're actually nabbing the S. It's good. Yeah, I will pick him, but I think there'll be surprises. That's what I'm waiting for. Every draft is quite similar. I think the only pick on the entire draft that I would bet money on with anyone, any amount, minus Dino, is Dino choosing West Ham first. That's the only money bet I would do. I will not bet a penny on who Skill Specs bets because I would lose that bet because let's face it, Specs probably isn't going to pick Doobie, bro. He's going to nab like Mika or some shit. And then he's just going to end up like, I don't know, bro. Let's go with something like this. So it's weird ass shit's going to happen, mate. I'm quite excited. I do hope the draft doesn't just turn into being like absolutely everyone's predictions and all that stuff. It'd be a little bit boring. But yeah, most of the draft picks I've been doing, I don't really, or haven't really bothered with going beyond my second pick because I just don't know what happens after that. But there's quite a few people. Here's a team I kind of would love to play. If this does somehow happen, let me go back and work out what I did. Spark back here. Reese goes there. Mika goes there. If Doobies does go there, Reese, Perp, Elliot, pure spam. Let's just say Oda block picks. anyone. It doesn't matter. We'll just toss in... I'll just toss in Sea Engineer, bro. I'll put Alfie in there. I'll just put that in there. I would love to play this, get Elliot, and then when the board comes around again, nab the big EV, bro. Because if I honestly got Elliot and Eviescape on the same team again, mate, I think we'd generally have like a Burgers V2, like legit good content and all that shit. And then, yeah, Oda pick is Skidler. If Oda picks the big skid, I could definitely see that happening. Then again, I think if this board somehow is created, I would probably genuinely take Lake here to make the Ocean team. I feel like our team might get steamrolled to an extent. But yeah, I think I might have to make the Ocean team. And then again, there's rumors of Lake going here, which means I think Elliot might end there, Pure Spam might, but then I would probably end up getting Ian or something like this. So I put quite a bit of thought into what teams I'm going to get, and I think no matter what, I'm always getting a decent first 2 picks, and then after that, it's just going to kind of go well. So Rakesy did well in the final, held his own versus Oda, and won the tournament. I mean, in all honesty, bro, Rakesy did beat the Big O. Let's be real, mate, you know, which means Rakesy's better than the Big O, you know. I think most of us can agree with that, you know. If it wasn't for Rakesy, bro, the, what is it called? The Nuggets wouldn't have won, mate. The Nuggets would not have won, and it would have been embarrassing. So it's fine. Did you know the biggest port in the world is actually on a lake? I did not, mate, but thank you for the fact there, bro. I'll keep that one for an All-Stars. I'll say that, mate. So it's fine. Yeah, but no, these drafts are fun. Has anyone, like, have any of you guys, like, created drafts? Like, from what we know, I could see this happening. Or some of this. I don't know. I think the Lake pick second on Torvesta is one of the more interesting ones. I could actually see this that could definitely happen, actually. And then somehow, if, like, we all agree to let Alfie come to here, bro. Oh, bro, please. Oh, man. It would be, Alfie would, oh, man, the worst week of his life, mate. The worst week of his life if that occurs. No, that could occur, and then obviously it comes around here. Who was the other person that I moved? I don't think Oda would pick Lake. Oda could maybe pick Pure Spam. I don't know if they have the bit, but then let's say Data goes there. I then have between Lake and Pure Spam, and I probably would go Pure Spam instead of Lake there, I think. I don't know, but I'm not sure yet if I want to build the Ocean team. Yeah, we'll have to see this one. Check this out. All right, let's have a look. Okay, let's have a gander. What the hell is this, bro? Most popular first pick is West Ham, chosen first in 104 boards. Anyone that didn't choose West Ham with Dino's first pick is a goggle. All right, what the hell is this? Okay, so yeah, apparently the this is only the main Data thing is because Oda said he was gonna choose Data, so we'll see. Bro, if I can get Elliot and Lake, my team is pretty stacked. I would say if I have a team of me, Port, Lake, and Elliot, that team would actually be pretty free. And Spartmac, I guess. That team would be pretty sick on just understanding the whole game. I'd be pretty happy with that. I'll be surprised if Verf is not last and Coxie is on the Nuggets again. I could see Eviescape being picked here by Perp. If Eviescape comes around, I'd love Elliot and Evie on the same team. That'd be freaking sick. Solo Mission, Reese, and Mika on the team is quite scary, I'll be honest. And if Pip comes all the way through here, will that really happen? This is an interesting board, this one. This is an interesting board. I can see quite a bit of this happening. I do have a feeling if Perp is picked by the Nest, I think they might go Skidler rather than Ian, maybe. Definitely would be Mika here. I don't know fully about all this, but yeah. I'd say this is probably not quite correct, because I do think Oda's going to change his first pick to Mika, because that's what his viewers want the most, and it is a good pick, so we'll have to see. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. But yeah, I love messing around with it. Garbage picking Mika round 1. Well, the thing is, if you who would you pick, Mr. Drinkwater? Or I'm going to guess you would pick, like, Reese or something. But I don't think Oda's picking anyone he already had. So who would you pick, mate? I was want to see, and I'll tell you what's going to happen after that. Come on, bro. Wait, what name was he? No bans, by the way. No bans. I generally cannot find the guy that piped. Did someone ban him? Drink water 73. It's a weird position, Reese. Yeah, you would pick Reese there. Like, basically, you would, boy. What about Mammal over there? I would say that if you're judging, I don't know how many fights Ditter and Mammal had, but if you're gonna put Mammal versus Ditter, the thing is, anyone could beat anyone in the PvP arena, bro. You know, like I beat West Ham yesterday. I managed to beat West Ham. Like legit, anyone could beat anybody in the arena. So if it's based on like a best of 1, if it's a best of 5 and it was 5-0, then that's definitely a different thing. So I don't know, but yeah, does that mean I'm better than West Ham? Absolutely not, mate. West Ham were curb stomping into the ground a lot. Plus, he also cracked my head in on the actual final, and he was down food, so yeah. Am I for sure picking Port first? I don't really know who else I'd pick first. The only other person that I would pick in this situation that I think is worth would be Reese, only to mess up the solo mission team. But then I know that Port auto goes to Odablock, and the idea of Port and Odablock on the same team is pretty scary. You know, it'd be pretty scary, pretty scary. And then I don't know what happened in like the shoulder mission and all that stuff, but yeah, it's good. Oda should just pick Reese and mess it up for everyone. I don't think it's going to happen. We'll have to see though. But again, when the draft actually happens, I think there's going to be so many weird upsets. For me, I just know roughly who the hell I'm choosing the whole way through. You know, like if it comes like there's so many people up to my second pick, there's always someone that I think is just the best person to choose. Then when it comes around to my third pick, I think I actually might end up with the general, but we will see. We will see if we get it. Why would Skilly take Port? He could, for all I know. But if Skilly takes Port, I'm taking Reese and no one's stopping me. I don't give a shit. You know, like if the specs won't sabotage me, but if the specs actually wanted to take Port, I'd just take Reese straight away. And then everything would start crumbling. So it'd be good. It's good. I have a feeling you're going to do a completely surprise first pick instead of Port. Nah, man, I can't give Port to Odablock, bro. We lose by default. And I want to play with Port, mate. It'll be a genuine pleasure, mate. It'll be good. Oh, probably have some solid teams anyway, so it's good. Right, let me sort some shop. I'm gonna do some arena today, gonna get backed up by some people. I'm sick of freaking shitty Zerka. You know, when DEADMAN ALLSTARS comes out, can they make LMS like only max main? That'd be good. Escape, man. Pick Verf and he will do a chunk series during the finale. Nah, man. I do believe, like, if we had to actually break down what I think the final picks are probably going to be, I do think Verf will be last, and I have a feeling it will be between Escape and SparkMac for the last two. This is a guess, by the way. Now, in this situation, I will probably choose Eevee because I do think that Specs wants to play with SparkMac quite a bit. So if this board came real, I would probably message the Specs and be like, yo, do you want to play with the big SparkMac? And he'd probably be like, yeah, I do. And then I'll make sure to give him. Eevee Skate being slept on? Come on, bro. Eevee Skate's gonna donate all his gift. See, with these people left, oh no, it'd be Ian, wouldn't it? You know, let's just whack Ian here, Ian here, Lake here, Pip there. Out of all these people left, who do you think's like the next best pick? You know, maybe like Mutz or Sick Nerd, possibly. It's interesting to know because again, when it comes down to these things, everyone knows how good certain people are at everything, especially from the last All-Stars. But then we have some names in here that just people don't really truly know how good they are. Like, are they going to be good or are they going to be backed up, man? Port, Lake, and Boaty be crazy. It's a hard one because with all the drafts that I've made, I think when the board comes back round to me, there's a high chance that I will have to choose between Ian and Lake as my second pick. I do think that could happen. And I'll be honest, I don't know who to choose. It's a hard one. But I think I'd read the chat, and if people wanted the Ocean team, I would probably choose Lake as much as I really would like to play with Ian, because I think Ian would be the better pick. But it's like I don't know. It'd be an interesting one. But I think playing with Lake would be pretty fun just to get the boat team going or something. But I do think Ian would be the better pick, man. Anyone else in here? I don't really know if Data's gonna come all the way around, bro. If Data, like, genuinely, if Data dying to Mammal has legitimately lost some stock, even though Data's obviously very, very good, and Data comes around and I nab him here, bro, if I had, like, this team or something, it'd be pretty damn good. Do some good stuff. If I had Ian here or something, that team would be pretty solid. I don't know what's gonna happen. All I know is I'm gonna be trash, man. I'm gonna be trash. I'm gonna play some tunes.